I woke up this morning with the Super Bowl shuffle stuck in my head.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would.
This song is probably one of the most unhinged pieces of art ever created. It's usually considered bad karma to go on the record and boast about achieving something that you haven't achieved yet, because then it makes it very easy to make fun of you if you fall short.
We want a ball, we're going to score.
The pass is picked off. Intercepted. The Green Bay Packers advance.
And when what you are boasting about is winning a Super Bowl title, and you're doing it in a rap video with 10 separate verses, you have put all your chips on the table. There are not enough chips available for the bet you're making. But that's how good the 1985 Chicago Bears were.
Well, they call me sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making more man.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold.
The sack man's coming. I'm your man. Dent is a quarterback slow. He's gonna get bent.
You're looking at the Frizz. I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cookie. You see me hit, you see me run. When I kick and pass, we'll have more fun.
The Bears didn't just release this song before the Super Bowl. No, they didn't release it in the playoffs. They dropped this song with multiple weeks left in the regular season. This music video was recorded the morning after the Bears suffered their first loss of the year, and here they are shuffling along to the thought of winning a ring. At a certain point, you are requesting for karma to put you on your ass.
We are the Bears, shuffling crew.
But if you're the 85 Bears, the rules of the universe just don't apply to you. 15-1, a defense so monstrous its name is only invoked when you're discussing the greatest units ever. But even with that enduring a legacy, this music video might be what's remembered most. So naturally others thought, why not jump in? Even if you embarrassed yourself completely, that's only temporary. It's not like there was some forever archive beyond comprehension. So anyways, today we're watching every music video I could find on the internet where an NFL team was directly involved in the song, video, or both. We'll keep track of them using the shuffleboard, which is a graph to score each song using the Super Bowl shuffle as our gold standard. 4 possible points for song and music video memorability, 1 bonus point for whether this led to any team success. In order to evaluate these with any sense of structure, we've got to make some exclusions. So no Christmas songs, no songs that don't have videos, and no songs made by fans or artists that don't involve players directly. Although, that would give us a lot to talk about.
18-0, 18-0, one more to go, Super Bowl, whoa, 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 whoa.
If hearing that song parody just gave you an overwhelming urge to buy Flo Rida tickets, I've got incredible news. SeatGeek is a ticket marketplace that does the heavy lifting of ranking all the best available deals for you. You can go see Flo Rida, you can go watch Derek Carr play football pretty soon. No one's gonna stop you from doing either of those things. All you've got to do is head to your chosen date, and then you can find the highest deal score ranked out of 10, and you're already done. The best news is, your ticket is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee, and any tickets you choose at all are 10% off if you use code SETTHEEDGE10 at checkout, even if you've used SeatGeek before in the past. That's one clean code, SETTHEEDGE10, for 10% off your next ticket order at SeatGeek, no questions asked. So a massive thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring whatever it is that we're doing here, and now let's watch some music videos.
V66 has just brought you one of your last chances to see Chicago before New England buries the Bears.
It's just before the Super Bowl to decide the 1985 NFL season. Those same shuffling Bears are about to face off with the New England Patriots, and the Bears clearly have the upper hand in the media. The Super Bowl shuffle is everywhere, airing on MTV. It was, no joke, nominated at the fucking Grammys. But you know what? New England was fully okay with that, because they were ready to turn this into pro football's first ever rap beef.
Now it's the Bears, the big wind from Chicago. The Super Bowl awaits. All of the gamblers, they tell us the Super Bowl can't be won. But the Bears are gonna get buried. New England is gonna be number 1. New England.
Okay, alright. This song is indefensible.
We'll hang the bell from the Liberty Tree.
New England, the Patriots and we.
The brig will be the defrostee.
New England, the Patriots and we.
We'll beat the Bears 100-3.
The Bears won 46-10. Collective memory says that blowout happened because the Patriots were just overmatched, but I mean, this is why. I feel like the only necessary ingredient for a novelty track is some self-awareness that you're being a goofball and messing around, so it's good that this song is self-serious and tries very, very hard. If the shuffle scores a perfect 5 out of 5, this is a 0.
We'll bury the Bears. Just wait and see.
It's commonly said that history is written by the victors, and if you want proof of that, look no further than this line on the Super Bowl Shuffle's wiki page.
The 1985 Chicago Bears were the first sports team to have their own music video.
I once believed this too, brainwashed by the mainstream media, but the 1985 Seattle Seahawks released a song of their own months before the Super Bowl Shuffle ever existed.
The work is tough and the days are long. I've been working out and getting strong. We're pushing hard to reach our goal.
And the blue wave is on the roll.
See, now we're talking. Never again do I want to see earnest, emotional singing about your football team. Just grab a couple of the fellas and let them mangle some existing song.
We work as one cause we're a team. And now we're reaching for a dream. We're aiming for the Super Bowl.
And the blue wave is on the roll.
The 85 Seahawks had high hopes making this video since they were coming off of a 12-4 season the previous year, but they ended up losing 4 of their last 6 in 85 to finish 8-8 and miss the playoffs altogether. They aimed for the Super Bowl, but landed in the shower with mood lighting and a steamy saxophone play. I also didn't realize until the credits rolled that their lead singer is linebacker Michael Jackson, just so they could make this 2-second joke. Beautiful and solid, and the original NFL music video. We'll score it at a 3 out of 5, but straight to the front of the line. Okay, now that we've cleaned up the timeline, we're back in a post-Super Bowl Shuffle world. The Bears' dominance is fresh in everyone's minds, and damn it, they want to win the Super Bowl just like them. But if you want to be the Bears, then you better dance like the Bears. The LA Raiders were the first to truly hop on the bandwagon following the success of the Shuffle, and they did not alter any aspect of the blueprint for maximum effectiveness. Smoky darkness? Check. Two-step? Check. Players introducing themselves?
Well, they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like Mickey Moore Mance.
Allen's my name, offense is my game. Running or catching for me is the same.
Double check. But they couldn't just stop there. The Bears threw down 10 verses on wax, so the Raiders also have 10 verses. Just kidding. They have 17. 17 verses. The extended edition of this song goes on for 8 minutes.
I'm Tom Flores, and listen to me. Offense doesn't win, and neither does D. It takes both to make me beam. A commitment to excellence to make my team.
I have a theory that whoever wrote these verses started phoning it in after they realized they had to do 17 of them, because eventually they just become a list of height and weight measurements.
I tipped the scales at 270. 6'5" makes it easy to see.
Marsh is the name, and I'm 6'5" tall.
So with a few faults, we have a carbon copy of the Super Bowl Shuffle. A confident team fresh off of a deep playoff run, league MVP at running back, great defensive talent, double lightning strike. I mean, Christ, if you double their win total, you still have less than the number of verses on this track. I'd say it's a solid 2 out of 5 for the effort, but I'm already starting to worry about whether this is going to be a legitimate strategy.
When the offense stops and we need 3, that situation's perfect for me.
Okay, I need to prime you for this one. What we're about to watch together doesn't exactly fit the mold of a team music video, but it would be a horrific mistake to not take the chance to talk about this. Released mid-season in 1986, Masters of the Gridiron is a 15-minute odyssey where the Cleveland Browns go on a fantasy quest to win a mythical ring. It does have a musical number that qualifies it for this list, But this film is so much more.
We are the warrior clan of Modella, and we will go forth as one and fight to the death if we must. To the death! To the death!
So the movie begins with a Cleveland Browns football game in which their center, Mike Babb, receives a head injury so traumatic he's knocked unconscious on the field.
Hey, Mike, wake up. Open your eyes, Mike. Wake up, Mike. Wake up, Bab.
When Mike does wake up, he's no longer named Babb. He is Barbarian, tasked with a quest to unite the clan Modella and defeat the Lord of the League, who is in possession of the Ring of the Masters of the Gridiron. This movie rules. Barbarian recruits his teammates from across the land, the hills of Linebacker, the village of Recevius, the town of Quarta, all of them in increasingly elaborate costumes. And then they all travel to the castle of the Lord of the League.
Look, it is the castle of the Lord of the League, and there he stands.
Hi, fellas. Welcome to my nightmare.
I hope you're with me because it gets weirder. The Gargamel fellow is played by 60s pop culture icon Tiny Tim. You may recognize him for his falsetto singing with ukulele. That may not be fully relevant, but I need you to know. And the guy gives the performance of a lifetime.
I must see the steel clasp and hear the armor rattle. And when the dust has settled, weapons their misery no longer sing. Only those who have conquered on the bloody plain will wear the master's ring.
And now we get the climactic battle we've all been waiting for between the Cleveland Browns and a group of woodland samurai. Also, this is now a music video. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the live bear. Samurai and a live bear. Yes, the full video is linked in the description. The journey ends with Barbarian claiming the ring and waking up on the field once again. Roll credits, collect awards. But did this valiant quest yield a real Super Bowl ring? Well, the Browns did get closer than 8-8, finishing 12-4 and marching all the way to the AFC title game before they were clipped by John Elway's Broncos in a game known as The Drive.
Elway leads the Broncos 98 yards.
If The Drive hadn't happened, there was allegedly a distribution deal in the works that would have made Masters of the Gridiron into a household name, like The Shuffle. But Elway just had to stick his grubby fingers in there. It's a 4.5 out of 5. So close, but so far.
We mean to have the ring of the Masters of the Gridiron.
Alright, we don't even have time to catch our breath before this next one. Released in the exact same month as Masters of the Gridiron was Let's Ram It, the LA Rams' slightly more traditional take on a team music video. Slightly.
I like to ram it, as you can see, nobody likes ramming any more than me.
I come from the end, looking for the sack. I don't stop coming till I put them on the back.
I learned long ago to ram it just right. You can ram it all day and ram it all night.
Quick on my feet, the ladies agree. Before they know it, they'll ram it with me.
Well, enough about me, we're here to ram it, you see. If you ram it just right, you can ram it all night.
I'm starting to think this song may not be about football. The funniest part of this to me is that when the players were asked about it in a 2016 article for Yahoo, one of the only consistent things they all remembered was that production for this video lasted all day and into the freezing night on their one day off to make Ram It.
Let's ram it. Ram it.
But look, you gotta give credit where it's due, because the flow and choreography here are the best we've seen so far.
This limousine with it, my moves are like dreams. They call me the demon on special teams. I know how to rock it from the toes to the head. When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead.
Hold on. Can we see that move one more time?
When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead.
Okay. One more time?
When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead.
Okay, just twice in a row and then once in slow motion.
When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead. When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead. When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead.
Thank you. But did this song help the Rams get ahead? The Rams did get to see some playoff football, finishing the season a respectable 10-6. But in the wild card round, sadly, it was they who were rammed. They get the consolation prize of having the second most memorable NFL music video from the 1980s, but saying that out loud just sounds horribly depressing. Let's Ram It scores another 4.5 out of 5. This was the golden age, and it will not last. Here in 2024, the Dallas Cowboys still being called America's team is a beautiful metaphor for the fall-off of both. But in 1986 Reagan America, when that moniker was still fresh, they had to put in the work to earn a lofty nickname like that. They needed proof that they were the most American America team.
We are living the American dream. We love to hear that Liberty Bell ring.
Okay, let's think of like a patriotism checklist. Saxophone, not really American, but mandatory for these songs for some reason. What else? Let's get like landmarks, Liberty Bell, yeah, Statue of Liberty, American flag, yeah, of course. Hey, can we get a bar about the ease of class mobility?
You can go from the bottom to the top. It's a personal choice.
Perfect, good. Okay, so how much of the budget do we have left for video graphics? All of it?
We tip our hats to the Statue of Liberty.
But here's our pivotal question. Do sweet edits and patriotism make you better at playing football? Well, by the time the Dallas Cowboys released this song and video as part of a 1986 holiday album, their season was already a 7-9 disappointment after they went 10-6 the year prior. So what about the next season? The next? The next? One more? Holy hell, this song made them terrible. Still gotta award them a 1 out of 5, if only for the cutting-edge CGI.
I always call the plays and no one asks me why.
That brings us in a clean loop right back to the team that rammed the Rams.
R-E-B-S-K-I-N-S. We are the Redskins, just one big family. Our fans are special. They give their loyalty.
If we ignore the racial slur, let me try that again. If we take the name out of it, this is pretty clearly the most wholesome song so far. There's not any bragging, there's not any dumb jokes, just pure, uncapped gratitude.
For 50 years of loyalty, that is true. We want to take the time to sincerely thank you. When it's all over, said and done, you are the fans that are second to none.
Washington had just played in 2 Super Bowls and won one of them within the previous 4 years, so I mean, I'd be hitting whatever this move is called too. The players still have what I can only describe as a gunpoint stare, but there really is nothing crazy going on here.
Hey, thank you, Redskins.
Now, we know they made it past the Rams, but Washington also went on to take down the Bears in the divisional round, earning them at least a 2.5 out of 5 on our shuffleboard. Only one more opponent stood in the way of yet another NFC team with their own song making it to the Super Bowl. But wouldn't it be crazy if it was guaranteed no matter what?
We are the New York Giants. Don't you know we're great? Football is our business. Pasadena, we can't wait. We are the New York Giants. Don't you know we're great? Football is our business. Pasadena, we can't wait.
If you've been keeping count, this is in fact the 6th team song produced within a year of the Bears winning that Super Bowl. And while the trend was still going strong, it's clear the enthusiasm for the video portion of the process was beginning to wane a little bit.
The Giants coming at you. If you got the ball, the Giants going to get you. Your quarterback and all.
The story goes that this video was thrown together just before the team was about to board their bus for the Super Bowl, and yeah, this does look like the exact amount of people you could get to voluntarily go dance in a freezing empty stadium.
Stay up, clap your hands.
My favorite part is that despite this time crunch and the freezing weather, in the extended behind-the-scenes cut, there's also this, like, post-video interview where a man named Gene goes through and asks them all, one by one, the exact same question.
Let's get around and talk with some more. How did you enjoy making the video?
Oh, it was a great day. Great day.
I don't know, for some reason I don't see a lot of sincerity there.
Astonishingly, this is the song and video that ends up claiming the title for most successful Super Bowl Shuffle knockoff, with the Giants beating Washington and then taking down the evil John Elway's Broncos to claim the team's first Super Bowl title. So even though this may be one of the weakest entries by far, it still claims a 2 out of 5 solely off of its team success. I guess, when it comes to winning football games, maybe artistic value is not as important as having Lawrence Taylor.
Winning, we proclaim, and drugs are not our thing.
You right. There were times I'd be standing in the huddle, and instead of thinking what defense we were playing, I'd be thinking about smoking crack after the game.
Well, you gotta understand though, it didn't affect my play.
So, finally, we are finished with songs from the 1986 season. Is what I would say if I were a liar. Bonus track.
We are the Diamonds. We come from Glasgow. We're here to play football. Football's our game.
These are the Diamonds. They come from Glasgow, and they're here to play football.
We're the Diamond side. We come from Glasgow town, and when we're hitting the field, we don't be messing around. We're gonna move the ball. We're gonna pass and rush, and if you get in the way, you're gonna feel the crush.
Supposedly, this video was created as part of a music video competition held by CBS, and the winner would be aired during that year's Super Bowl. This video won, and then was broadcasted to 87 million people.
Talking about the Diamonds. We come from Glasgow, Glasgow. We're here to play football.
The 80s saw a lot of American football teams spring up around the UK, though shockingly there's not a ton of public information about this Scottish team that was only around for a handful of seasons. Where it gets even more bizarre is that I sifted through the entire CBS pregame show, full Super Bowl broadcast, and a number of articles from around that time, and still found no hint or mention of this video or guy anywhere.
Thank you, Brent. Having turned 21, the Super Bowl has certainly reached the age of maturity. One could even say the age of consent.
Am I being punked? Is this contest some weird Mandela effect or lost media? I don't know. Either way, I need you to know that I'm not crazy, and now we have to move on from the Glasgow Diamonds before they eat what's left of my brain. I thought I wanted a break from the NFL, but we need to go back. The following 1987 season saw a player strike and full year with no songs. So in '88, the Philadelphia Eagles decided a world with no music was no world at all.
But he's watching you. He's watching, yes, he's watching. And the Philly fans are too. So you better hold that line. Hold it, hold it. If you don't, you're gonna make us go out of line.
The title does make their head coach Buddy Ryan sound like a complete weirdo, but his inclusion means that Ryan is the only coach to ever be name-dropped by multiple NFL teams in separate music videos. That one's on the house if you ever need an annoyingly obscure trivia question.
Randall Cunningham, quarterback, the guy everybody wants to sack. Now you see me, now you don't. You think you will? No, you won't. Keith Jackson, tight end. Yeah, boy, quarterback's best friend.
You pretty much know what you're in for here, but the best part is easily when their kicker just sprints through his verse and leaves a full empty bar for everyone to dance in silence.
Luis and Dejas, I kick field goals. Am I nervous? Yeah, I suppose. To win the game by hitting the mark, this game is over before it starts.
So in 1988, the team song is Alive and Well. The Eagles put together their first successful season under Ryan with a 10-6 record, but it would be Buddy's former Chicago Bears that eventually downed Philly in a game that would be remembered as the Fog Bowl. Look, these songs may not be good, but some of their ties to NFL lore are unmatched.
As long as they can keep playing like this, they'll keep playing like this. Hand off right.
Oh, what a great run that time.
So it's a 2.5 out of 5. Maybe it could have been more if not for the fog.
Now you see me, now you don't. You think you will? No, you won't.
The Eagles may have fallen short in the end, but they weren't the only team that revived the trend that year.
Who they think they ought to beat them close? Where they play? In the jungle. I'm ready to know.
The Cincinnati Bengals flipped the script and turned a 4-11 disappointment from the previous year into a bona fide Super Bowl run, which now means they were required to make a rap song.
As you can see, this is the jungle. When you come to Cincinnati, you're gonna be hot. The fans go crazy, red, orange, and black. There must be a rumble cause the place is packed.
The players aren't introducing themselves by name anymore, and this is troubling because the only accessible copy of this video has 14 pixels everyone has to share. The only easily identifiable person is producer Greg Jackson, who uploaded it to YouTube, and I only know that because he points out that he's at the console wearing a hat 4 different times throughout this video. But, I mean, I get it, it's a cool hat. Greg aside, what matters is how the track itself caught on at that time, and Bengals fans really did seem to embrace this chant and song on their climb up to the top.
Who do you think to beat the Bengals?
Aww. The Bengals would lose and fail to return to the Super Bowl for the next 33 years, so they earn a 2.5 out of 5. But I hope this kid, who is now at least 40 years old, was able to understand that it's not because the Bengals were worse at football, it's because their music video was just not good enough.
I'm on a team that's never been finer, the San Francisco 49ers. All the night, can't win our way. Team of the 80s, we came to play.
During the 1980s, the San Francisco 49ers had A, already won 2 Super Bowls, and B, already released their own song during a Super Bowl run in 1984. It just didn't have its own video. So they somehow managed to be both early and late to this trend.
Hello, my name is Jerry Wright. Please don't try to glove me cause you paid the price. I move so fast, I'll give you a buzz. You be thinking that you next to me. Thought you was cuz.
So the track may not be very good, but I can't tell you how happy I am to see a legitimate music video again. We've got crash zooms, unhinged graphics, half the edits make 0 sense. We're back, baby. And it just so happens that this was also one of the best football teams ever assembled, so unfortunately for the Bengals and Greg Jackson at the console wearing a hat, this one was over before kickoff. Gonna be a 3 out of 5 if we factor in that Super Bowl ring. If we cut to another season later, it's now 1991. At this point, the league had surpassed the 5-year anniversary of the Super Bowl shuffle, and it was starting to lose the initial spark that made so many teams jump on that bandwagon. Times were changing, and so were pants.
Can't touch us. Can't touch us. Can't touch us.
This song is led by a guy named Corey, who is not a player on the Dolphins. In fact, despite researching, I have no clue who this guy is.
Miami hits him so hard, makes him say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with all those Dolphins and all that speed, that's good.
This was a landmark track because it almost single-handedly killed off the genre. Now, obviously, you can point to the fact that I just said the trend was on a natural decline, but you can also do what I'm gonna do and just pin all the blame on Corey.
Yo, let me bust these football lyrics.
Since this was released as an off-season track leading up to the 1991 season, its direct comparisons go all the way back to the Seahawks' Blue Wave is on a Roll and the Raiders' Silver and Black Attack, where both teams were coming off of 12-4 seasons the year prior, only to finish a disappointing 8-8 after they released their videos. And you're not going to believe this.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
3 out of 5.
Dolphin time.
Like I mentioned before, what followed this song was a drought for over 8 seasons. Now, maybe there was no interest, or maybe coaches were just getting tired of giving their blessing to these songs just to have most of them backfire completely. The juice just didn't seem worth the squeeze anymore. But then again, there's always someone willing to try. The 1999 Jacksonville Jaguars were a fascinating team. In just their 5th season as an NFL franchise, Jacksonville posted a 14-2 record in the regular season, and their defense posted the longest stretch of games holding an opponent to 10 or less points since the '85 Chicago Bears. So, understandably, the Jags were feeling themselves, and they wanted to call their shot just like the Bears did all those years ago.
72, gotta hit him, dog. I'm trying to break through, gotta get him, dog. I'm big Cersei. I'm off the chain, Super Bowl thirsty, you know what I'm saying?
One thing the 99 Jags have in common with the 85 Bears is that they are not being shy with their goals. Coach Tom Coughlin was reportedly outraged when this song hit the airwaves, and I can't say I blame the guy, because more than any other that came before, this song has a ton of lines in it that say directly, this team is going to win the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl bound, that's the show. You can't catch me, Super Bowl bound. Play for my ring so I can bling too.
ETL bound, Super Bowl bound. All about that Super Bowl ring. Get them off with the bling, bling, bling.
So, no, they did not even make the Super Bowl. Instead, this Jacksonville team is remembered for being one of the most clear-cut examples of one team just having another one's number. I said the Jags went 14-2, but I did leave out the fact that both of those losses were against their division rival, the Tennessee Titans. And after they retired Dan Marino with a 62-7 whooping in the divisional round, the Jags had to face the Titans yet again, with a chance to live up to their promises right there on the line.
All about that Super Bowl ring. Get them off with the bling, bling, bling.
But they lost. 15-0 against the rest of the NFL, 0-3 against Tennessee. Now, Jacksonville can take solace in the fact that there was no happy ending for their arch rival either, but they wouldn't win another playoff game for 8 years, so there's no winners to speak of here. Except for me, because we've finally made it to the last song.
Welcome to Paul Brown Stadium, and let's give a warm welcome to Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati
So another 5 years have passed, and we are now in a very small window of time in the mid-aughts where it was possible for Marvin Lewis to receive a warm welcome from Bengals fans. As you might have noticed, this song was released by Bootsy Collins, Cincinnati funk legend, not a member of the Bengals at any point in his illustrious career. So I was fully ready to disqualify this song, but then I saw that even in 2005, we still have rapping players.
I'm not Paul Wall, but I'm real dirty. Like the South, and you know I got a bad girlie at home, and she's cooking on some neck bones. On the sideline, talking on the telephone.
Cincinnati carried an 11-5 record heading into the playoffs when this song was released, and immediately lost to the Steelers in the wild card round, 2.5 out of 5. The gift of hindsight grants us the knowledge that no Marvin Lewis team was ever allowed to go any further. But once Marvin was gone, the door opened for the Bengals to rise again in 2021, and both Bootsy Collins and the players that recorded the original Who Dey rap released their own updated versions of those songs to pass the torch. But if you look close, it's not just the image quality that's different about these new releases. I mean, where are the new players? Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. Why not throw Zach Taylor in the booth to lay down a verse? I mean, I don't even have to answer the questions. Times have significantly changed from 5 years ago, let alone 35, and the NFL music video, as we've come to know and love it today, is now an extinct species. Should we be sad about that? No, but there is certainly a freedom and lack of restraint associated with releasing anything as goofy as these that is so much harder to find today. In a pre-internet world, passing on something because it might end up regrettable or cringeworthy down the road just wasn't as much of a thing, and I think we could use a little more of that today, certainly. When I started to research for this video, I laid out this loose definition for what I would include, with players being directly involved and there being an accessible video, but then to my horror I just kept finding more and more and more of these songs that fit the criteria I'd never even heard of. Something I also learned in the process of all of this is that the record keeping for obscure tracks and music videos like these are understandably pretty rough, and there's a ton of both misinformation and lost information that's out there. That being the case, I wouldn't be terribly shocked to find out that I did miss a song that exists on a VHS tape or some buried forum post that I just couldn't dig up. Feel free to let me know in the comments or over on Twitter if that's the case. But for now, I think that's all I've got for you. I want to thank you for joining me on our trip down this weird little rabbit hole, and I hope to see you again for the next one. Take care.
Electric blood. inside, electric, here we go.